Hi there, kids. Good afternoon. Welcome to our science class. I would like also to greet your parents who are also watching today. I hope that you are all safe at home. So before we start our lesson, let us have a brief review of the past lessons that we have. We have also discussed the different reproductive part of a flower and the other parts of the plant that is being used in reproduction. Okay, this time let us have week 7 and that is the mode of reproduction of fern and moss. Okay, when you say fern, that is pako in Tagalog and moss or lumot in Tagalog. Okay, so in this lesson, you are expected to describe the mode of reproduction of fern and moss. So how do fern and moss reproduce? Alright, so most of the plants that we see around us can produce seeds and reproduce by their own seeds. Some of these are fruit-bearing trees like mangoes, santol, suha, and the like. Will you kindly ask your mother if what other plants that have seeds that is being used to reproduce their own kind? Okay. So you kindly list them on your notebook at least 5 examples of plants that have seeds and reproduce by their own seeds. Okay, there are also plants that have seeds like vegetables like okra. Do you eat okra? Eggplant and tomato or kamatis. All right. Some plants do not produce seeds, but they can reproduce. Examples of these plants are ferns and mosses. These plants are seedless plants. Seedless meaning wala silang buto. All right. So look into this picture. What do you think is this one? Have you seen this kind of plant around you? Okay. So, marami po yan sa paligid natin, especially in shady places, no? Alright. So, ang tawag natin dyan ay mga ferns. Okay, how do ferns look like and how do ferns reproduce? So, ferns are plants that do not have flowers and seeds. Wala silang bulaklak, wala rin silang mga buto, but they have leaves, roots, and stems. Now, what are these thing at the back of the leaves of the fern? Okay, ano tong mga to na parang mga buto? Okay, so ang mga ito ay tinatawag nating spores. These are called spores. Ito yung dahilan kung bakit dumadami ang mga ferns kahit na wala silang mga flowers and seeds. So they grow fast because they have plenty of spores which enable them to produce their own kind very easily. Okay. So ferns grow best in shady places where the soil is wet and moist. So gusto nila sa mga lugar na mamasa-masa. Okay, so this is a new kind of fern, a new plant. So this is already a new plant, a new fern, bagong tubo na fern. So let us discuss how ferns reproduce their own kind. Okay, kids, so hold on to your modules so that you will be able to follow our lesson. Turn it on page 4. So before we start, I want you to learn some words, difficult words that you can read as we go along our discussion. Okay, so there are 4 words that are also shown in the life cycle of the fern. So first we have meiosis. Alright, so what is meiosis? So during this process, the fern is producing gametes or sex cells. What are the sex cells? Sperm cells and egg cells. So before a plant reproduce, it should produce its gametes, especially those plants that do not have seeds or flowers. Okay? The next one is the sporangium, or what we call as the capsule, which spores are being produced and stored in this stage. Okay, how will these spores being transferred to the female plant of a fern? Okay, water is needed so that it will swim towards the female uh, fern. All right. The next stage is the gametophyte stage. Okay, where sexual phase is developed, or the sex organs of the fern is being developed and produces the gametes. So when these two egg cells, or when these two cells unite together through fertilization, they produces the zygote. So zygote is the fertilized egg. When this zygote grow, it forms into a new sporophyte. So what is a sporophyte? This is a develop. This is developed from the zygote. So from zygote, a sporophyte is being developed. So this new sporophyte or new fern creates spores, which in turn produces gametophytes. And then it all goes on and on and on and on. So that is the life cycle of the fern. I hope you understand. So start is meiosis, and then sporangium. Next is the gametophyte stage. Then it will be fertilized. Then will form zygote. Then this zygote will develop into a new sporophyte, and this new sporophyte in turn produces the gametophytes. Alright, so before we proceed our lesson, let us have first a simple activity or assessment, which is also found in your module on page 8. Okay, I want you to arrange the following steps in the life cycle of a fern using ordinal numbers. Do you know what are ordinal numbers? Okay, ordinal numbers are examples of these are first, second, third, fourth, or fifth. So I want you to write the ordinal numbers, arrange them from first to fifth. Alright, so let us check your answers. Okay, so hold on your modules, kids, and check your own answer. Okay, so here is the first step. What do you think? What is that? Spore cases open. Okay, so nagbukas yung capsule. Next, what is this? Sperm swims to egg cells of young fern plant. This is the second step. Okay, next. Alright, so this is already the fertilized egg where the sperm cell and the egg cell unites. We call it as the zygote already. Alright, so fertilized egg cells grows into a new plant part. Alright, so here now is the new sporophyte. Spore begins to grow into the young fern plant. And the last one is the new plant part grows into A fern. Okay, so here is the first. The capsule opens, then the sperm swim towards to the egg cell, and then of course, when they unite, they form a zygote. Okay, the zygote in turn produces a new sporophyte or a new fern plant. And then this new fern plant grows into a mature fern or a mature sporophyte. Okay, did you get the correct answer? So we have this as the first step, second, third, fourth, and fifth step in the life cycle of the fern. Congratulations to those who got 5 and 4. Congratulations. Um, and to those who got lower than 4, you can try again. This time, let us discuss how mosses produce or how mosses reproduce their own kind. First, all right, are you familiar with this plant? So they are always found in wet places also. Okay, so look at this one. They are attached to walls or rocks or even trees. Okay, so how do these mosses produce their own kind? So what are mosses? Okay, let's describe what are mosses. So mosses are small green plants that grow best in wet places. Alright. So sila ay mas dumadami kapag nasa basang lugar sila. Okay, next we have they are carpet-like plants. Okay, so bakit sila tinawag na carpet-like? Since they are near each other, okay, they grow near each other. So they are like carpet, no? Dikit-dikit sila. They look like carpets. Okay, next. They have thread-like structures where short stems grow. Okay. And they do not have true roots, leaves, and stems. So they are called non-vascular plants. So when we say non-vascular plants, these plants do not have true roots, leaves, and stems. Okay, now how do mosses reproduce their own kind? Alright, so let us now have the life cycle of a typical moss. This can be seen on your module on page 5. Alright, so how do moss reproduce their own kind? So let us start with the first step where a leafy moss plant produces 2 branches. So this is the first branch, which is the male branch, and this branch produces the sperm cell, while the other branch is the female branch, which also produces the egg cells. Okay, so when the cycle continues, the next cycle is the fertilization stage. So how do this egg cell and sperm cell unites? So these two will be combined and grows into a young moss plant. Okay, where? Okay, in a sac. Alright. The sac is found on the branch of the moss plant. Alright. Then, when these two gametes are combined, a new or young moss plant is being produced. Okay, so how does it look like? It is a thin stalk with a spore case on the top. Okay, ayan. So, look at this one. So, when the sperm and egg cell of the moss is combined together, they form a zygote. Okay, and the zygote multiplies, ayan, until um, it grows into a young moss plant. Now, after that, okay, in this plant grows a capsule. Okay. Ayan, ito yung capsule po. When the spore cases bursts, okay, para silang lumabas. Iniluwa na nung capsule yung mga fertilized egg or the zygote. Okay. These are already the spores of the moss. Okay. So when these spore cases burst, it falls into the ground. Alright. Falls into the ground, and then a developing bud is already growing. Then it has rhizoids. What are these rhizoids? These are roots. It will anchor the new developing bud into the ground. Okay, so ito yung mag-aangkla doon sa panibagong moss na tumutubo sa kung saan nahulog yung moss. Okay. So, these spores can be blown by the wind, or they will fall into moist places. Right? Now, in turn, a new moss grow. Okay. So, ito na po yung mga young gametophytes. And then, of course, kapag itong mga to ay tumubo na, maging mature na, babalik ulit sa stage na ito. Alright. They become a mature gametophyte, and the cycle goes on and on and on. So we're done with the life cycle of a moss, and I hope you understood how mosses produces their own kind. Now let us answer a simple activity which is also found in your module on page 8, and that is the assessment. Okay, I want you to arrange the following sentences using the ordinal numbers. Okay, first to fifth. Alright, so I will give you at least 2 minutes to answer this activity. Okay, so you can check your answers, your own answer. Okay, so this is the first step in the life cycle of a moss. Sex cells are produced. Okay, what do you think is the second? Okay, so after the sex cells are produced, the sperm swims into the egg cells. Okay, next. The third one is, of course, when the sperm already swims into the egg cell, fertilization takes place. Okay, which one is the fourth? Alright, so the fourth step is fertilized egg cells grows into a new moss plant. Alright, and of course, this will be the last step. After a new plant is being produced, this new plant in turn produces spores. And the cycle grows on and on and on. Okay, I hope you got all the correct answers. Okay, congratulations to those who got 4 and 5. And to those who got lower than 4, again, you can try again. Okay, so that ends our lesson for today. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned a lot from this video that I have presented to you once more. Okay, again, this is your teacher, Teacher Karen. Thank you for watching.